Hi, JamesAnimalHarrison. I'm back with a new lesson for today. And today we're going to talk about basically moving your hands around and exploring new possibilities based on something that you probably already know. Now, I did a lesson a couple of weeks ago that talked about taking a basic beat and kind of turning it into a funk beat. It might have even been last week and whatnot. But the idea is once you have something, move your hands around on different surfaces and see what you can create. So we're going to take a beat today that's a pretty common beat that it's been around forever. I mean, I learned it back in the 70s and what. It was very popular in the 90s and the grunge movement and stuff like that. But we're just going to play it straight right now, which is basically this. We're going to accent 2 and 4 a little bit on the snare. I know I have to wait a second after I play for the microphone to adjust. We're going to talk about different ways you can move that around. So obviously one way I could do that is to, I have a hi-hat set up on the right. I don't know if I showed up on the camera. And it's got the APX cymbals by Sabian, 16-inch. So it's kind of a trashy sound. So I'm going to move that over there and play the same thing. I moved it to the right, and the reason I did that is because I'm going to move my hands just around and take some of these off beats and move it to a tom. That creates a different sound. I'll move it between the two toms. See, I added a hi-hat over here. If I played, if you're good enough to do this, you could play eighth notes with your foot. While you're playing eighth notes with your hand on the right hand. So any E or or upbeat that you move over to the left would be an opening. So I can do that same beat, and I'll do, I'll explore with it a little bit. Quarter notes on this hi-hat to make it a little bit more interesting. So my idea to you today is take something like that simple beat that you know. If you don't know it, learn it. I'm going to play the right hi-hat on the beat and move on the ands, move my hand to the cowbell. I'll keep everything on the snare to start. Okay, I'll leave this hi-hat out for a minute. Now I'll experiment moving my left hand around again. I can also play some notes with my left hand on the cowbell. So it just gives me an opportunity to create different things. I can switch those hands around and play the cowbell on the beat and the hi-hat on the offbeat. Different patterns by moving around. If you get good enough at it again and you're comfortable, playing just the offbeat sounds really cool. And I can move my hands wherever I want. Get more toms involved. I will play the cowbell again, and I'll move to the floor toms on the ands. Start off here. sounding again. So I can create all kinds of things. So what I want you to do is take any beat that you know, even if it's a simple beat, and just start to move around. Don't learn by sound, learn by feel. So that way when you move to a different surface, you're creating sounds and not having to relearn the beat because it sounds different to you, but it feels the same. You're just moving your hands. This is often something I work with students when they're working on rudiments, and they can play them on one drum, and the minute I want them to split their hands up, it becomes a problem because they're so used to the sound of one surface. So one of my tips today is obviously don't learn by sound, learn by feel. And that way you can put it on any surface you want. Another fun thing to do if you have a double pedal or a double bass is to play those same kind of things over a double bass. I'll start the first beat. So my point is, take the simple beat. And what you do, just start to move your hands around and see what you create. And you probably have a much bigger vocabulary of playing than you think if you just try to do that. Give it a try. Thanks.